We're here with Dave, who's the CEO and founder of Path. Dave, we haven't sat down with you and talked about it. You guys have gotten a lot of buzz. Tell us initially, how you guys got started and a little bit about your background and where you've kind of come to.
Sure. We started Path as sort of a more personal social network with the advent of mobile phones and the fact that people communicate with their family and their closest friends most often with their mobile phone. We decided to build a network experience that was designed for that. And the whole idea of a path, or we call it a journal, sort of capturing the moments in your life that are meaningful to you and sharing them with your family and your closest friends. That's kind of what we've been trying to do since day one. And
let's talk a little bit about the backlash, right? Because every time you guys have something and you roll it out, a lot of times people in the real world say, we're not ready for this. You guys recently got into trouble for uploading context and
Yep.
that kind of thing. What did you kind of take away from that experience, and what are you guys kind of doing to make sure that you maintain this balance and the innovators maintain the balance with kind of the mainstream people who are saying, okay, we want our stuff protected too?
I think that if you talk to any of the sort of big startups, whether it's us or Foursquare or Instagram or any of these guys innovating in mobile, everyone will tell you that they care deeply about privacy and creating good experiences that are simple. And I think that the challenge is that mobile is this really new thing, and it's super personal and very visceral part of people's lives. And it's sort of a more personal device than has ever really existed. It's with you all day. It sits by your head while you sleep. It's this amazing kind of little computer that is with you all the time. And so there's new expectations around that from consumers. And I think that as we all sort of continue to innovate and we all kind of try to create new social experiences, we're going to run into different situations where perhaps consumers would like more control. They'd like more transparency. And so I think our responsibility is just to be really transparent and have that conversation in public and try to understand where the boundaries are and what people want and do the right thing. But I would also say that, I think that doing things like this is really helpful. I think that as more and more people use apps and that becomes more and more a part of everybody's day, I think people also just want to understand it. They want to understand, how are these apps created? What is the software on the phone? How does that connect to the internet? How does all that stuff work?
A lot of these apps, very cool, great user interface, and you get a lot of people signing on. How do you turn something like Path into a full-fledged business?
So because we're focused so much on being a very private, very personal experience, we don't actually think of it as an advertising business, which oftentimes if you're building a network or sort of a consumer media internet experience, people think about it in terms of generating a lot of users and then starting to do advertising, right? And we think that would be sort of counter to our values. There's no ads at the dinner table, right? And so we think of it in a slightly different way. We already make money. We sell a variety of we call them lenses, but they're filters for your photos. There's some that are free, some that are paid. And the idea there is to sort of point in a direction of the future. It's not a big business for us now, but the idea is that the Path experience will always be free, but if there are different ways that you'd like to express yourself on the network, so maybe that means a different type of filter for your photos or virtual goods that might add to your ability to express who you are. And we actually think that in the United States, in the English-speaking world, social games like Zynga have proven that people are willing to buy a brown cow versus a purple cow. And so I think if you create unique experiences, people are willing to pay to express themselves.